earlier, but I don't know whether that just died. So not sure how many people will join us tonight. We're a minute or so early, so I'll let YouTube do its thing. Oh, there's rubbish all over me. It's going to take a minute or so for me to work out if anyone can see me and hear me. I'm hoping that the microphones are on and ready. Just waiting for a few people to populate. There we go. They're starting to come in. Could you guys just let me know that you can hear me okay? Good evening. All right, Paul, how are you, my friend? Good to see you, my friend. Can you hear me? Good to see and hear you perfectly. Cheers, Maz. Steve, how are you? Paul, good to hear that, mate. That's great. Getting a few people pop in now. JV, Don, Bobby, Neil, Trevor, Kathy, Geordie, Kevin. Good. We've got 32 people in already. How about that? We're only a minute into it. Evening, Lynn, Jack, Lindsay, David, Ian, Sheila, Maureen, Lynn, Tony. Evening all. We're cracking away. Don't know what we're going to talk about tonight. I just thought I've got friends coming over at the weekend, so I'm not going to have an awful lot of time to jump on. I'm hoping to do a little video over the weekend, which I'll bring to you guys. In fact, it's tomorrow night, so I won't ruin the surprise. Basically, Sophie, for my Christmas present, so yeah, a few months ago now. I can't show you the box, but she bought me the Lego Formula 1 car for McLaren, which I thought was a lovely gift. And it's only been, I've had to build it over the last 6 months. How anyone builds that type of thing is beyond me. As fun. Like, some people pick these Lego things up. I mean, this isn't for kids, right? No matter what you say. It's not for kids. It's, I'll show you it quickly. I finished it today. Look at that. And that has taken me 6 months to build. I mean, it is pretty phenomenal. It's so detailed. When you think of that's all single pieces, all the advertising's on there, and this is the 2023 car. Anyway, I just I thought that I would just share that with you because I finished it tonight, and I just thought, you know what, I've got to do it because it was just sitting around in loads of bits, comes in loads of bags, and to be fair, how anyone does this sort of thing for fun is beyond me. I know Spencer, who BQ watches, likes these model cars and builds them and everything else, but I'll tell you what, absolutely blows your mind. It's supposed to be for 9+. Now, there is a reason I'm showing this, because, thank you, it is actually really nice. It took 6 months to make. You could make a real one in that time, couldn't you? I'll get to the comments in a sec, guys. But this brings me on to a bit of a subject tonight. I don't know if you can see it there. Is it there? I don't even know where the blooming piece is now. But basically, McLaren Formula 1 is sponsored by Richard Mille, which is a watchmaker. So I'll put that down before it all crumbles and I have to build it all again. So basically, if anyone knows, there's a full size for Spencer. Yeah, that's, to be fair, he wouldn't fit in that. He's too small. No, I'm joking. Sorry, Spencer, if you are watching. Richard Mille sponsor Formula. How much was that model? I think it was, Sophie bought it for me for Christmas. I don't know. I think she said it was about 35 quid. But it was a nice little present. You know, it's just how anyone builds it is beyond me, like, for fun. Like, they actually pick it up and go, oh, this is great. It's actually, it nearly went through the window about 10 times. But Richard Mille is, yeah, one day, thanks, that's making me feel much better. Yeah, because it's only taken me 6 months, or 5 months. There's nothing on the old Batman car, you're right. We'll get on to all this in a sec, right? And I'm not ignoring your comments, but basically, Richard Mille, they make watches, very, very, very expensive watches, hence why they advertise on the Formula 1 cars. Now, it's not unusual for a Richard Mille watch. Let me just show you, and for those that don't know anything about Richard Mille, let me just quickly show you. a photograph of one. There you go, right? So that is a Richard Mille watch, okay? I don't know whether you like it or loathe it. I personally love them, right? That is a Richard Mille watch. Can you have a quick guess how much that watch is? Just that watch there. Yeah, I like it as well. You're gonna have a quick guess. Put a few figures in the. Don't look it up. Don't cheat. Put a few figures in the comments. 32,000 quid. Yeah. Carry on. 24 grand. 350 grand. Yuck. 100 grand. Used to have another. Right, we're getting some good figures. 20 grand. 49,000. Okay. Now bear in mind, there's no gold in that. There's no diamonds in it. 200 grand. 500 grand is that? 350 grand plus. We're all 550 grand, 550 grand and 30 grand. So we've got a massive difference there, right? Okay, I'll show you just so you. That watch, resale, because obviously they don't make them, they're a limited edition watch. I'm gonna have to show you because people would doubt me. I'm just gonna zoom in on the price. This is plus tax. $2,101,129. Sorry, euros. So let's say the time you pay your taxes and bits and bobs. Yeah, oh my God, exactly that, right? Time you pay your tax on it, it's £2 million. Yeah, now we've got all the oh God, you know, right. £2 million. So if you had that sort of money, and I'm sorry I keep coughing, I'm still not back to normal yet. Say you had £2 million to go and spend. I suppose if you had that to spend on a watch, you're going to have other things anyway, aren't you? But this is what I would do, right? I'd a little write it down. If I had 2 million quid to buy that watch, that plastic rubber strapped watch, and Velcro probably. Well, I think that one's on a rubber strap. I think it's a deployment buckle. But let me tell you, from someone that's had a Richard Mille for a little while, not for very long, basically, we done a loan on one in the pawnbrokers and had it for a little while. The buckle on them are absolutely horrific, let me tell you. Absolutely horrific. They're the worst quality you've ever seen. Anyway, we're talking 2 million quid. Would you buy the plastic watch with a rubber strap? There's carbon fibre, to be fair, and probably one of the best. Yeah, there are plenty of replicas out there, but probably the best quality watch that you can buy. Or would you buy, this is what I would do, instead of buying that £2 million watch, right? You'd be my neighbour, yeah. You'd buy the rest of the street. I would buy a £500,000 house. Can't believe it, my son is actually trying to call me. He knows, you know I'm on a live, what do you want? Yeah, it has started. Yeah, 8 minutes ago. It hasn't. Yeah, it has. It has. Log in. Can everyone tell him that it's actually started? Bye. Right. 500,000. Now he's worrying me because I think I put a schedule up. So let me just dump onto that one quickly and just delete it because when I tried to activate the scheduled live just now, it didn't work for some stupid reason. Yes, it didn't work. So I don't know. It might be showing that I'm going live. But anyway, most of the people are on here now. We've got 172 people, so I guess you'll all work it out. Instead of buying that £2 million watch, I would spend that money, 500 grand on a nice house to live in. I'd buy 5 lots of £200,000 rental apartments, right? Yes, I did get my phones back, thank you. I've not turned them on yet, but I did get my phones back. £500,000 house to live in, 5 lots of £200,000 rental properties, so you've got 5 flats that you can rent out. I'd buy a couple of £100,000 businesses, maybe a restaurant or a bar or something like that. I would buy 150 grand supercar, £100,000 holiday apartment somewhere, a £20,000 daily car, and a £30,000 solid gold Rolex root beer for exactly the same money as that £2 million plastic rubber strapped watch. Now I've got a house, 5 rental properties, 2 businesses, a supercar, a daily car, a holiday home, and a solid gold Rolex for the same money. There you go. Just thought I'd pop that one out there about reality of having that type of watch. I mean, how insane would that be? You must have money to burn. A Lexus, yeah, it's a nice daily, mate. A nice Lexus. Let's get into a few of the chats and see what's been said. It's a good shopping list, but like when you think one plastic or carbon fibre watch with a rubber strap, or all of those things that I just mentioned, there you go. Yeah, famous people wear it. Basically, all the Formula One drivers are wearing it. I see one, Lando Norris has got one. As soon as he gets out of his car, they put it on. Obviously, that's gifted to him. That'd probably be a 400 or 500, maybe £600,000 watch. But anyway, they're not all that sort of £2 million. You can get a Richard Mille for about 150 grand only. What a bargain. Join a queue. So yeah, I just thought I'd bung that out there really. So basically the little model car that's got the Richard Mille logo on it made me think that watch for £2 million. There you go. Footy players, yeah, that sort of stuff. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Sharon, Slimming, Jack, Tony, to be. Wow, there's quite a few people in. It's 191, not quite as many as usual. We had about 300 odd last time, I think, but that's probably where I've screwed up the live because it's still being advertised, I think. So it is stressing me out now, so I need to really try and clear that, but I don't really know how to. Settings, don't know how to do it. Let me try and find it myself. Sorry guys, talk amongst yourselves for a sec, will you? You can see I'm professional at this, can't you? Danny in Spain, live, join me live. Yeah, that's, right, so let's just delete that, edit it. Yeah, see, these things don't work for me. So there's absolutely no way of me deleting that now, is there? Edit. Ooh, sorry guys. There's probably people queuing up to wait on that one. But see, I can't edit it. That is a little bit of a worry. That's what my son was phoning me about, wasn't it, just now? I've cocked that one right up, haven't I? A description. How can I get rid of that? Anyone know? I can't just leave it on there. Comments on. This has completely cocked it all up, hasn't it? Let's just try and delete what we can. Sorry guys about this. Apologies. As you can tell, I'm new to all of this. Get Sophie to. She's in bed. She's in bed. Can I just delete it? Is there any way of me deleting it? Discard changes. No. I can't delete it, guys. I really apologise. So I'm going to have a few bad comments about that because it says upcoming still. There you go. Let's just crack on with the live, shall we? Have you had any replica watches, Daddy, given the risk of theft? Do you know what? When I went to Turkey some years ago, I bought a lovely Cartier, what was it? A Cartier Roadster XL chronograph. And I had that watch for about 14 years, and I have had a couple of real ones since and always sold them. And it worked really well. I mean, it does look a bit haggard now, but it was, wake her up. Yeah, I think I might need to. Yeah, I have had a couple of copy watches because sometimes it's nice to put, a watch on if you're going to go into a higher risk area with a nice watch. It's sometimes better to put the cheapy throwaway ones on. Only a couple of things I was going to jump into. Favourite television shows? I think I said to you guys before, mine is The Godfather. You can't see it. I've got a big original Godfather cinema poster here framed up that I've had for many, many years. I think it's from 1972, I think it was. My favourite ever film was The Godfather. I don't know what you guys, if you want to throw some up there. Yeah, she is in bed saying to herself, bloody YouTube, mate. No, she's fast asleep. Went up there just now snoring away. No, I'm joking. She doesn't snore. Mobland on Paramount is really good. I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that. I've not seen it yet. That's Guy Ritchie's new film, isn't it? I need to look at that. Yeah, I do like Guy Ritchie's films, to be fair. All the President's Men. Heat was very good. Yeah, great film. Good gun battle in the middle of that, wasn't it? Mining's Guns of Navarone, Blues Brothers, Goodfellas, Zulu. No one else has agreed with me with The Godfather, though, have they? What do you think of a good brand of watch to invest £100 for the future? Hard to say, mate. To be fair, you know what? Seiko do some nice watches, but I wouldn't say it's going to be a future investment. You need to sort of stick some serious money into these watches for the investment ones. I mean, Hamilton are a nice watch. I mean, I really like Duckworth Prestex at the moment. I've got an absolute fetish of wearing them at the moment. I just don't wear anything else. I had one on today. I don't know, I took it off now, but you know, they're not loads and loads of money. They're more than 100 quid, but they're, you know, you can buy them well worth the money, and they're really good quality watches. Hey Danny, hope you and the family are shenanigans and Benidorm. Yeah. I'm popping up hopefully to see Paul again on Monday. I've got some friends coming over this weekend. Sorry, I keep on. I'll tell you what I've got to learn how to do as well. I need to actually learn how to highlight a... See, I can't... Yeah, I need to learn still about this. Yeah, see, I can't put any of these up. And of course, I'm now missing a few, which is a little bit annoying. What do you think of Paul's watch? I really like it. I don't wear it all the time. I do wear it quite regular. It's very, very comfortable, especially on the NATO strap. Very comfortable. I've got the NATO and the rubber strap with it. They're a really nice watch, to be fair. I don't know if there's any left. The white ones sold out really quickly. The black ones, I think there might be a couple, and a couple of the orange ones left, but you'd have to contact Paul for that. They're really, really nice watches, to be fair. All the Rambo films, yeah, I mean, look, right, Godfather 1 and Godfather 2. Godfather 3 was an absolute disaster in my eyes, but Godfather 1 and 2 was, I just think, there's nothing out there. And that brings me on to the favourite TV shows as well. Originally, it was The Sopranos. I don't know whether everyone's seen that. The Sopranos, for me, is the best television series ever. Very closely followed by Breaking Bad. I've just started watching Breaking Bad again. And yeah, Abigail, contact Paul if you want to watch. Yeah, just comment on one of his videos or something. I think they're made by Helium. So I don't know whether they're still available on the website. You could go onto the Helium website. And it's called the 4P watch, number 4 and P. Yeah, all good. Excuse me. Yeah, I like all those sort of stuff. Suits or Prison Break. Yeah, they're good. TV series, thriller, 1970s. Yeah, Better Call Saul. I never really got into that, and I should really watch it, to be fair. I am much, much better, by the way. I feel a lot better in myself, but I still got this virus. Minder is a great television series. I mean, that was a great television show, to be fair. Arthur Daly and Terry McCann. Yeah, I really enjoyed watching them. Professionals used to be good. I still preferred Minder. I don't know whether he particularly played the best part in the world, Terry McCann, but yeah, it was good. Porridge, the Craze film for Tom Hardy, played both characters. Must have been very difficult to do that. I believe he's in the new Mont film. I've got to see that. I haven't seen it yet, but I keep sort of Only Fools and Horses. Yep. I used to know, well, I sort of know, Rodney. Let's just call it Rodney. My daughter used to go to school with his son, and they used to date for a time. And sadly, he sadly passed at a very young age, which I won't go into because that's a very awful subject. That's Nicholas Linder's son. Yeah, and they've never ever got over that, obviously. Minder, was priceless. I just think, yeah, Only Fools and Horses was great. You know, 40 Towers, very small series, but I think there was only 12 episodes of 40 Towers. Again, there, you know, and The Office, the Sweeney, yeah, that was a great one. The Office, I always thought that was a great series. The original, not the American one. My daughter likes the American one, but I prefer the original. Yeah, Magnum. Some others do have them. Blackadder. Yeah, like these are all Starsky and Hutch. Wow, we're all old, aren't we? We really are old. In Sickness and in Health, Alf Garnett, New Tricks. I heard Rodney from Only Fools and Horses lives in Little Haven near Chichester. I've been to their property, but it's not fair for me to say what that is. Heartbeat, yeah, that was what's his name, wasn't it? The fella off of EastEnders. I used to. Yeah, I love those. Hill Street Blues. Wow, On the Buses and Carry On films. Yeah, 13. There's a missing 40. Oh right, okay. There's 13 episodes, was there? Right. Wee Man film. Yeah, that was a good film. That was about Arthur, what his name was, wasn't it? The Scottish gangster. Peaky Blinders. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Rising Damp. Dick Emery. Love Thy Neighbour. The Young Ones. Yeah, God, the Young Ones. Neil and Vivian and yeah. Monkey. Wow, Ian, mate, you really are old. You'll get that. Alfida Sane. Blimey, we're all old. I tell you, I know every one of them as well. That's the worry in it. Yeah, Lubda, I'll touch quickly on that subject. I spoke to Lubda quite a bit in the past, obviously through Paul's channel. Sounds like she's having a really, really rough time at the moment. And do you know what? You couldn't want to meet a nicer lady than Lubda. She's just a beautiful soul. Beautiful, beautiful person. Yeah, so thoughts and prayers are with Lubda. At the moment, she's going for a very, very rough time. Monkey, Tiswas, Magic Roundabout. Sorry. Yeah, I'm worried about her as well, Pauline, to be fair. But, you know, she's a very, very clever lady. So fingers crossed she'll be okay. Oh, my God, we're all old. Yeah, do you know what? Is there any young people on here that can come up with some new, like, stuff? Mr. Blobby. Hello, Dan. Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. I'm slowly passing this Bagpuss and Trumpton. Jesus, we've got them all. Mr. Bean, we can never forget about Mr. Bean. That made everyone laugh, and it's an easy thing to watch, isn't it, whenever you want to watch? Excuse me, everyone. I'm hoping by the next time I do a live, which will be sometime next week. I'll do one maybe Tuesday or Wednesday next week. I might try and get Sophie to do one instead of me. She's better at it than me. So yeah, not the 9 o'clock news, porridge. Oh, my dad loves Mr. But yeah, I mean, they're all great, aren't they? You know, the comments are absolutely flooding in at the moment. While we're talking about favourites, I mean, this could go on forever, couldn't it? 40 Towers. I think 40 Towers was second to none. I think possibly Spitting Image. Do you know what? You can catch them on the old reruns. Just old. I'm 59, not old, just older. Yeah, I'm not on vitamins. I've just drunk, you know, I've been drinking in the local supermarket here. You can get freshly squeezed orange. It's only a couple of euros a bottle, and I've been having a few of them the last couple of days. But excuse me, and this is probably sounding really loud because I'm right next to the microphone, but I can't mute it while I cough. Yeah, Little Britain. I mean, they just don't have comedy like that anymore, do they? Yeah, I need to take a hot toddy, as they say. Flowery twats. Do you remember that? Yeah, that was brilliant. They used to have the sign change everything, didn't they? Do you have COVID? No, it's not COVID. I was really rough about a week or so ago, but I feel so much better now. I'm getting on with life at the moment. I had a bit more physiotherapy today on my arm. I'm having that 3 times a week at the moment, and it is dragging on with the hospital visits as well. So yesterday, I had a hospital visit in the morning, then I had to have physiotherapy, and then I had to have an MRI scan, which I'm sure is a mistake because I had one about 5 weeks ago and nothing's changed, right? Nothing's changed since. So I went in and here we go again. Like, I'm claustrophobic, like horrifically claustrophobic. Something happened to me and Sophie a few years ago. We went into I'll quickly explain it to you. We went into the caves of Thailand and we was in like a canoe type thing. So we're inside this canoe and we went through the caves. My son and daughter went a different way, so they were in it as well, but they went a slightly different way. And as we was going through these caves, which was about a quarter of a mile long, so we were effectively in the middle of a cave, going into this lagoon in the middle of all these caves. We were going through this cave and the water started rising. Claustrophobic, oh my God. So basically, I had my phone videoing it and I had to put the phone down because I couldn't. The cave ceiling was, I mean, my head was here and I kid you not, the cave ceiling was there. And in the end, it come so close that I had to turn my head because my nose was getting squashed. And we was stuck there for, well, it felt like eternity. We was probably there realistically for about 5 or 6 minutes. And I threatened to break the bloke that was our guide. When I say break him, I said, you wait until I get out of it. Do you know what? It was horrific. I was probably claustrophobic before that, but this, all you knew is the water was rising, and I remember we was laying flat down in the canoe, both myself and Sophie, and we had to turn our heads like this because Anyway, so I had to go for an MRI yesterday. I went for one a few weeks ago, the Hulk, the 18, great. I went for an MRI a few weeks ago, and I went into this tunnel thing, which was not easy for me because of the claustrophobia. But I kept on trying and I thought, I'll have to do it, I'll have to do it. Anyway, I had to go for another one yesterday, cutting a long story short. It was about the size of a fruit shoot straw. You know, like the tube that I had to go down. Because it's my left arm, I had to have that all sort of opened up in a strap and things like that. And I was like this, and I had to sit in there for 22 minutes. And in the end, I was in there for about 15 seconds, pushed a button, I said, I can't do it. This tube is too small, I can't do it. I mean, how anyone that, you know, is slightly overweight goes into one of them, I will never know. Because I was like this, and I just couldn't do it. So I said, look, you'll have to tell the doctor I can't do it. They'll have to find another way of x-raying my arm. While we're on favourites, let's go. Favourite place on earth? There you go. Well, I would have panicked. Yeah, do you know what? It was horrific. It was horrific in the cave in Thailand, I'm going to be honest with you. But it was worse. Well, no, it wasn't worse. It was as bad in this tunnel thing yesterday. I just couldn't do it. You're going into my only advice, if ever you have to do it, and get me wrong, don't get me wrong, right? Sometimes, I will go to these messages. Sometimes, yeah, I know these new, but they don't seem to have them here, these new machines, right? Sometimes people have to have it done. It's life or death, and it's a very serious situation, right? If ever you have to go through it, close your eyes before you go in and don't open them for 1 second until you come back out. But that still didn't help me yesterday. I was so claustrophobic, I couldn't do it. Anyway, going back to it. Cornwall, Stoke, my bed, Australia, Niagara Falls, London, Cornwall, Malta, Skegness, Italy, New York, Las Vegas, Menorca, New Forest, I take it that is, Essex. Pauline, come on. You've got to have better than that. Favourite place on earth. Sorry, I've scrolled up now. Canning Town. Yeah, Canning Town of old maybe, mate. Climbing Lake District. Antigua, County Durham. What's yours, Dan? I will come into that in a second. I'm just reading what everyone else is. Croydon, Hawaii, Leyland, Edinburgh, hands down. Edinburgh's got some lovely places. Blackpool, Tenerife. I love Tenerife, I really do. I go there regularly. I stay at a friend's apartment in Tenerife. and I absolutely love it. LA, Sophie really likes LA. Not really my cup of tea. A little bit plastic for me. Cyprus, Buttermere Lake District, Afghanistan, the two Newcastle, Italy rules, Greece, oh God, Dover. Haven't found it yet. Dominion Republic, Nepal, Snowdon, Jaywick Sands, Brum, Cancun, Mexico. I've been there, that's very nice. Very green, that was. Cyprus, Northern Ireland, St. Lucia. Right, okay, here's mine. My favourite place on earth, and one place I wouldn't mind finishing my days, if you like, is Sicily. Now, this is all linked, obviously, to my love for The Godfather. That was filmed in Sicily, and I have visited the bar that part of The Godfather was filmed in. I've been to the church that they got married in The Godfather 1. So Sicily for me, and it's so quiet and so picturesque and so beautiful, that's for me. The other side of me is Las Vegas. I've been to Vegas 3 times, I think. 3 times. And every time I've absolutely loved it. Well, you're very lucky, John, mate. You should get out there a little bit, mate, to see your wife's family, because it's the best place in my opinion. I love it. Absolutely love it. But like I say, I've got the two ends of the spectrum, haven't I? Sicily, that's quiet and very beautiful and picturesque, and Vegas, which is like Benidorm, Brighton, and on steroids, you know. Las Vegas is a crazy, crazy place, and I do love it. I really do love it. But yeah, I need to go there again, really, to be fair. I just love the razzmatazz. You can have all your razzmatazz and it all going on. As long as your hotel's got a lovely view, when you go there, it's silent and you're looking out and it's all crazy stuff going on. I've never been to Monaco. I would like to go there, and to be fair, I've not really got an excuse now because I could get there quite easily. Thank you very much, John. That's very kind of you. Married your first wife in Vegas. Notice I said first wife. Yeah, I know a few people that have got married in Vegas. Well, they are still together, to be fair. So, Fremont Street is very good. Yeah, downtown. I love that. They've got all the lights above you, and they've got a thing going across there now, like a zip line. Crazy. You're just walking along, looking at the shops and the casinos and stuff, and all of a sudden you just get people like screaming going above your head. I'm in Essex. Have you been to the F1 in Las Vegas? No, I've only ever been to the F1 once. Hold on. I would do a road trip with you to Monaco. My son's just told me he wants to come to Monaco with me, so he's obviously watching. All right, Arch. Yeah, I'd like to go to Monaco, I must admit. And I've only ever been once to the Formula One, although I love it. My son's been there quite a few times, or a lot more than me, let's put it that way. But I've only ever been once, and it was to Silverstone. We stayed there for the weekend. The Sphere in, that's what, yeah. Yeah, Monaco I'd like to go to. I mean, I've never been, and maybe I'll take a road trip there at some stage. Problem is, obviously, you can't go in the sports car because there's only 2 seats. So we have to... Was in Sicily in 1980, went to Mount Etna. Yeah, I saw Mount Etna. We stayed literally and erupted. I think Mount Etna pretty much erupts all the time, doesn't it? I think it's consistently erupting. When I was there, it was erupting, and the hotel overlooked it. But yeah, really, really nice. Have you ever been to Switzerland? No, I haven't. I've been to quite a few places on cruises and stuff, but I've not been to Switzerland. Maureen, I was in Clacton 2 weeks ago. Clacton's a laugh, actually. I like Clacton. Andorra. Oh, blimey. My husband had a heart attack at Etna. Oh, blimey. Wow. Yeah, so I just thought I'd touch on, we've obviously spoke about favourite TV shows, favourite films, favourite places to visit on Earth. Excuse me, I've just got to somehow kick this. This weekend, I've got some friends arriving. They arrive tomorrow. I'm picking them up from Alicante, and they are staying with us for a few days. We're going to a motor show on Friday, I think it is tomorrow night, and they've asked if I'll take the sports car with me. I hate saying the word because it's just not my cup of tea, but so I'm taking it up there about 5 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to park it up. No, I'm not cooking, Ian. We're going to eat out, mate. Well, Sophie will probably cook, to be fair. But oh, excuse me, I shouldn't really have done this one, should I? So yeah, I'm going to be parking up the car for people to look at. There's going to be about 40 cars there, so I understand. And they've asked me to put it at the very end, and they promised me they're going to put cones around it, and they won't let anyone near it. So I'm driving it up there for the crack of it. I've not been out in it hardly at all. So I'm going to take it up there for a little run. It's about 25 minutes away from me. And then hopefully, like I say, on Monday, I'm going to go and see Paul because I'm dropping our friends back to Alicante, although Paul doesn't know it yet. I'm going to be knocking up on his door. I'm dropping my friends at 5 o'clock in the morning because their flight's at 10 to 7. So by the time I get from Alicante to Benidorm, I reckon I'll be there by about 6 o'clock in the morning. So I hope he's got the coffee machine on. But don't tell him. Don't tell him. Where is Paul Thorpe? Well, he's not on here tonight by the looks of things. He's probably around his daughter's or doing something or having an early night or whatever. He said to me the other day he was really knackered. So Belgium, the best F1 experience. Yeah, I can imagine. Spa's quite good. On his scooter, probably doing a live now, dodging around Benidorm on his little scooter with his flashing crash helmet. He hasn't spoke to me since. I think he's, yeah. So, yeah, that's, pretty much it, really. I was gonna, oi, cracking film, Benidorm will be a cracking time here. He's on a scooter knowing Paul. Yeah, as I say, he probably is just, diving around, isn't he? Delivering pizzas. Yeah, the sexy pizza. He's definitely going to start a business up here if he stays. Only been abroad a couple of times, saving up to give him a load of holiday. That's very kind of you. That I'm sure he'll love it. I enjoyed the video tonight. Thanks. I'll probably stick around for about another 10 minutes. We'll find something else to talk about. But I haven't really got anything else written down to talk about. Like I say, I'm going to go out for maybe an Indian tomorrow night. It's our friend's birthday while they're over. And they've got a little boy the same age as Carter, and they get on really, really well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them. The Paul Thorpe special launches tonight, doesn't it? Yeah, quite probably. Probably Friday night for the pizzas, if we're talking pizzas. Nice is a much better place than Monaco. Nice, Nice is not. Yeah. I've been to a few places in Italy. I've been to Venice, I've been to Rome, I've been to obviously Sicily and Florence. I've been there, but that's it. There's loads of other places in Italy I'd like to go and see. But one day I probably will end up trying to buy a little holiday home there because I don't think it's overly expensive to buy in Sicily. I think they were doing a thing recently where you pay €1 for a property, but it needs like 100 grand spent on it, and you have to do it within 2 years or something like that. There's a big thing about that. We're in northern Spain in the mountains. I'm in southern Spain in the mountains. I was wondering tonight because we've actually got a rainstorm, thunderstorm here tonight. So I was wondering if the Starlink was going to be working all right, but it seems to be, it's not buffering at all as far as I can tell from everyone. Anyone that's watching that hasn't given me a thumbs up, could you just give me a thumbs up to get me over 200 if you don't mind? Just helps with the channel to grow a little bit. Nice is nice. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Starlink is fab. I'm going to be honest with you. I get, generally, because we're in the middle of nowhere, we haven't got very good internet here. Well, we didn't have. I've still got the main internet here, So we run the telly off of it, our mobiles and bits and bobs like that. Because the Starlink's not particularly strong, as not a particularly strong router. But the Starlink, I get about 160, 170 meg download speed, and then upload is about 40. So that's pretty good considering the other thing we've got is about 20. So yeah, we do all right with Starlink, to be fair. I will get rid of the other internet. I've just got to give them a month's notice, and I just haven't bothered, you know, doing it. I mean, the answer is yes, and they're good friends. Sorry, I'm missing a few of these. I'll give you another thumbs up, Danny, no bother. But my answer, my question, oh boy. Go again, I'll give you, but answer my question, oh boy. Mr. Allen, can you put it up again? Because I didn't see it, mate, and the messages are coming in fairly quickly. I'd like to be able to slow them down. I know Ian's modding. Any chance you can slow them down, Ian, or do I have to do that? And I don't know how to do it because I'm new to all this, as you can tell. You should talk to Paul into staying. He seems so more relaxed. Do you know what? I'm going to be seeing him Monday. We'll probably do a video together on Monday. Richard was on tonight. Yeah, I miss Richard. He's a really, really lovely fella. I really like Richard. Only you can enable slow mode. Yeah, Ian, I'll have to chat with you about that, mate. Do you still do a bit of boxing training? I do, indeed, when I'm not injured. I showed them the other day, and probably a few people chucked up. I have torn my left bicep. I've torn 5.3 centimeters off the bottom of my left bicep. So I'm under therapy, like physiotherapy for that at the moment, rehabilitation, because they can't operate, because being me, I didn't bother. Yeah, Ian can't slow it down apparently. And thumbs up on the screen. Yeah, we're over 200 now. That was my goal, really, to be fair. It's quite a stream tonight. I've only got 207 people watching. I think we've had about 250, 260 watching at one stage. But you still in touch with Spencer and the other lads? Yes, I am. I spoke to Spencer about a week and a half ago. I have met up with Spencer since I've lived out in Spain. When we went up to Malaga, I met him, not this trip, the trip before. So myself, Spencer and Sophie and Carter went out for a bite to eat. Got a lot of time for Spencer. If anyone's looking for watches, Richard is doing very well. So I understand. He's a lot better than he was. He had a really rough time a few weeks ago. Yeah, anyone that's looking for high-end watches, I can highly recommend BQ watches. Absolutely fantastic guy, Spencer, and a genuine bloke. So check out BBB. Excuse me. Apologies, this cough, and if it's blasting out the channel, I can't help it. Sorry, I can't mute it. I'll be on mute the whole live. Yeah, so that's, yeah, basically anyone that's looking for watches, like I say, I can really recommend Spencer. He's a top guy. Let's have a little look at the comments. He is a top man. Obviously, when you're watching this after live's finished, yeah, I've not brought a drink in with me, unfortunately. I know Spencer started selling through Watchfinder. I think, didn't he buy Watchfinder? I thought he bought it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I got that wrong. Wishing you a speedy recovery. Cheers, Tony, mate. Good to see you again, pal. That's what I do at work. Rehability, physio. Yeah, as I say, it's been hurting the last couple of days, but it's all right. I'll get there. They've said to me I can go back to boxing in about a month's time, so we'll see. How's Tommy? There's a couple of videos of some people that went and visited him recently. Who's your favourite boxer? Heavyweight, I would say Sonny Liston, which is probably going to shock a few people. I like Rocky Marciano as well. When Rocky Marciano fought, oh God, it's gone now. My brain, this is the age thing, mate. When he fought Jersey Joe Walcott and finished him on the ropes, I can't remember the round. The right hand that he threw was probably the best punch I've ever seen thrown in a boxing ring. If you haven't seen that, Jersey Joe Walcott, Rocky Marciano, you can get it on YouTube, or the knockout punch. It's a really, really good one. Yeah, Jersey Joe's just come up. Thanks, mate. My brain did kick in. It just takes a little while now. Geordie Lass black belt barrister. Yeah, that's Danny, innit? Yeah, I was trying to get in touch with him a couple of weeks ago, but anyway, I didn't manage to. Should I go to Woodhill and try to break in? Sorry. I wouldn't recommend it. Tony Miller, snooker player, is high-end watch dealer now. Have you or Paul met him? No, I haven't, mate. I didn't even know, to be fair. I had all his videos. Yeah, the old boxing videos, like I say, I enjoy still watching the old fights and bits and bobs. There's so many good fights on YouTube still. Ali was the finest boxer. You got a big argument there, mate. That's quite possibly. There's a lot of people that would agree with you. Was the finest boxer to ever walk the earth. I'll go along with that. That would make a great video for you, Danny. Running up the steps at Philly like Rocky did. Yeah, I'll probably only get about a quarter way up before I collapsed at the moment. Perth, Australia. I take it we're still saying about the best places on earth. Running me, Geordie. Only 11 weeks and Tommy's free. Unless, of course, something else happens. TR video is being withdrawn. Well, I think it's been seen by about 170 million people. I've joined Carter's gym. Well done. Did you ever know Billy Williams? Not that I know of, no. I used to go to the Royal Oak in Canning Town. Yep, so did I, with Frank, funny enough. Do I like UFC? Yeah, I did, to be fair. I don't watch it all the time. There's a few fights I watched there. Prince Nassim was amazing. Very, very talented fighter from Sheffield. Really, really good fighter. Did you go to the US for Frank versus Tyson? No, sadly I was away on holiday at the time, so I didn't. I tuned in and watched it, of course. Well, that was for number 2. Number 1, we had a big do at my father's pub. We had the Sun newspaper there and all that sort of stuff. There's clips of us in the Sun afterwards. Larry Holmes, very, very good jab, to be fair. Again, but Liston, I think, had an equally as good jab as Larry Holmes. Richard's now talking about Tommy's film. Ever hear anything of old Frank Bruno? Ever hear anything of old Frank? I speak to Frank all the time, to be fair. I haven't spoke to him for the last 3 or 4 weeks because obviously I've not had my phones and his numbers are on my phone. So I've not really had anyone's numbers. What do you think of Fury past? What do you want to see? I'm only getting half of that message. Even Danny, what do you think to Fury past it or right? I think Fury's finished, isn't he? I mean, he might come back for an AJ fight, but who knows, mate? Who knows? Joe Calzaghe, I spent a night with him and his dad once. They were amazing, brilliant people. Cooking your favourite pie mash and liquor for tea. I love pie mash, Sharon. Absolutely love it. I live a mile away from Calzaghe. I tell you what, he's one of the nicest guys. I don't know him, but one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Really lovely fella. Will you ever get your phones back? Yeah, I've got my phones back. I've not turned them on yet because sadly I'm a bit, what do I want to call it? Suspicious now. So I've got my phones back now. Danny, who has inspired you to get into boxing? My father did. My dad inspired me to get in boxing. He come from a boxing family and done an awful lot of boxing when he was younger. And many, many years ago, he went to a charity event when I was about 1 and got a pair of signed John Conte gloves and put them at the bottom of my cot. So there you go. It was all destined that I was always going to be involved or liking. Fury would still do AJ. Yeah, I agree. I think Anthony Joshua, and I don't like to slag anyone off, but Anthony Joshua's been found wanting whenever he's stepped up to the higher level. So in my opinion, got to be Ben for me. Phone, how long can they keep them for? Well, indefinitely, so I hear, but I've got mine back. Cell phones, there's a couple of taps on them. Yeah, I've thought about doing that, but I've got nothing to hide. I mean, if they want to sit there and listen to me talk to, I don't know, whatever, then that's up to them. But XRP on the rise. I think all of crypto's been doing quite well. My son called me just now and said that Ethereum's doing quite well tonight. Yeah, sorry, anyone that was still looking at my other, because it still says I'm going live on the other one. I cocked up because I should have launched that live and I just went live myself. But again, was sat waiting for 40 minutes. Ah, sorry, Anne. I really apologise, mate. That is my fault. I did try and delete it on this video, but I couldn't. It'll probably still be saying I'm going live tomorrow. No, I'll try and delete it when I get off of here. I can properly concentrate on it then. Was going to say nothing to hide. Yeah, exactly that. I mean, like I say, I'm probably going to get rid of them anyway. I just don't like the thought of people listening, like private things and stuff. I just don't like the thought of it. I did tell them in the chat, I had one of the toughest fighters of all time, never knocked down in 93 fights. Right, okay. Looking back to Fury Usyk fights, fantastic. It's not saying losing to great. Yeah, I do think that Daniel Dubois is going to beat him. Daniel Dubois is on a bit of a high at the moment. His confidence level's shot up. He's strong guy, very fit. So I think I might have a little bet on that one. And I don't ever bet, but I might have a little bet on the Daniel Dubois, Alexander Usyk fight. Roberto Duran, I've met Roberto a few times actually. A lovely fella. We had the same watch once. I always think of the Mexican boxers. Yeah, to be fair, Manny Pacquiao, I tell you what, Manny Pacquiao, he was a Filipino. Manny Pacquiao was a fantastic fighter, one of my favourites. Usyk will stop him. I don't think so, mate. I don't think so. I think Daniel Dubois is a different fighter to when he fought a few years ago. Have a good weekend, everyone. I'm off to bed. Take care, Danny and everyone. Cheers, Maureen. I'll speak to you soon. I'm gonna we'll cap it at about an hour, guys. As I say, it's I don't ever know whether people want to watch this sort of thing the following day because they're not seeing all the comments that are coming up. I think they can log into it and see them. But how's life in Benidorm? It was only for 2 days, but I did really enjoy it. To be fair, I saw a documentary about Joe, and yeah, I mean I've seen that documentary. It's fantastic, Joe Kozagi. Danny, did you ever meet Gary Mason? Yeah, I knew Gary a little bit through Frank. Sad what happened to him. He got killed in he was on a pedal bike in London and had an accident and never made it. Gary Mason was a strong guy. Good evening, Jacqueline. Steve, sweet dreams, Danny and everyone. I take it you're off, Patsy. Good night if you are. Gary Mason, yeah, it was a tremendous fella. Another little great video, mate. Yeah, like I say, Tony, I'll just pop on and anyone wants to, if they're bored or whatever, they want to have a chat, we just do it. I don't know what's just happened there. I think Ian's getting rid of a few messages. I'm not seeing them, so he's doing quite well. It looks like Sahad. Give him one more go, mate. It's was hidden. All right, Ian's on it tonight, mate. I'm not seeing the messages, Ian. What did he put? Late night chats are the best. Yeah, look, right. Do you know what, Sophie? I'm a bit of a night owl. Sophie and Carter have got to bed, and I just, at the end of the day, if we just sit here and have a little chat, why not? Why not? It lets me talk to, and engage with everyone a little bit. One thing I've got to mention, the replying to all the comments is starting to become a bit of a job. I had one the other day where I was 5.5 hours just replying to comments, so it's taking a little bit of time. I will read everyone's comment, but if I don't reply, please don't be offended. I will read it, and I'll even put a little love next to it when I've read it, so people know that I'm reading them. I do read absolutely everything, but like I say, I have to be mindful that sort of 5 or 6 hours to reply to comments can be a bit of a pain. And I dictate a lot of them, so if they do come through a bit gobbledygook, I find dictating it is a lot quicker. If they do come through a little bit weird, then that's why, because I don't often get a chance to read them all before I send them back. Are you in the south of Spain, Dan? Yes, I am. Second, I like that night chats. Yeah, look, listen, people don't have to join, do they? They can just sit there. It's not costing anyone anything to join. Like your freestyling, the videos are much better, Danny, enjoying your channel. Thanks, Lee. Appreciate that, mate. We will have to go to a boxing event, Danny. That would be brilliant. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Maybe I'll call out another YouTuber. No, I'm getting too old for all that. Do you remember Gary Stretch? Yeah, he went into he went into acting, didn't he? Yeah, Gary Stretch. Gary Stretch, funny enough, I was doing a charity thing. I was going to go in with a friend of mine doing some charity stuff, and Gary Stretch offered to come in with us, which was very kind of him. And also the other guy, oh God, again, age, mate. It's age, isn't it? Forget that. We'll move on. My grandpa was good friends with Bruce Woodcock. Oh, right, yeah. That's a good photo to have, mate. You should get them framed. Wait till you get to 500,000. So, yeah, I don't think that'll happen somehow. I'm going to aim to try and get to, like, I don't know, 20,000 by the end of this year would be lovely. I think we're on about 8,500, not quite 8,500 yet, but that would be really nice. Cheers, Paddy. Thank you very much for joining us, mate. Always feel free to offload. We're here to listen. Yeah, listen. It's nice, really, for people to just, like I say, Friday night's probably not the best night to do this sort of thing. Yeah, like I say, when you're watching it live, these live comments don't always come up. So when you're watching it live, it's a bit more difficult to engage with what's being said. I mean, we've got, you know, I am missing quite a few comments here, sadly, because they're coming in fairly quick. But you thought you'd get to 8,000. No, do you know what, Lee? 8,000. I think we're on 8,400 and something, I think. No, I thought by this time I might be on about 150 to 200. So it's gone bloody mad, to be fair. No, I've never met Lee Murray. Battle of Britain, best film ever made. Yeah, that's cool. Best sporting event you have been to? When Frank Bruno won the world title. I'm going to say that because he's a good friend. And that was an amazing night. Yeah, thanks, Craig. It's slowly getting better. We'll see. Yeah, the channel's going really well, but it's thanks to you guys that it's going so well, because you comment on it, like it, watch the videos, and then that gives the algorithm a lift, you know. Claustrophobia, mate. When I went in for an MRI scan, I was prescribed to. Do you know what? That wouldn't be a bad shout, to be fair, but you know, I thought that yesterday's scan that I was supposed to have was a mistake. And you know, it's one of them things. I just couldn't go through with it yesterday. I don't know. The time before I did it on the third attempt, I was in there. I made sure my eyes were shut. Didn't open them again till I come out. But claustrophobia and needles. I don't like either of them. Yeah, it is chilled, Sharon, and that's the whole idea about this channel, isn't it? You know, everyone knows everyone. Hopefully, you know, people react to other comments and stuff. Thank you very much, guys. You're getting a few people say they're going to bed. Obviously, it's getting on. The only reason I do it so late is because I know I'm free and I don't go to bed early. So stress-free, that is the actual goal. Spurs are on the way to Bilbao, are they? I don't follow football, mate, but wow. They're on the ferry, I take it. Danny, do you have your phones back? Yeah, I covered that one just now, Neil. I've got them back, mate, but not using them at the moment. Having scanned about being in a coffin. Yeah, I completely agree. That's the only way you can describe it, to be fair. Yeah, Sean, that was horrible yesterday. I couldn't go through with it, so that's the end of it. They'll have to find another way of looking at my arm. Do a live half cut. Yeah, no, I've not been drinking at all today. I don't drink very often. I had a glass of wine on the other live the other night, which is quite nice, to be fair. Might have another one next week. We'll see how it goes. Good night, Danny. Look forward to your next video. Thanks, Caroline. Appreciate that, mate. Like I say, I'm going to knock it on the head in about 3 or 4 minutes' time, but we'll go to the end. Wednesday are best for you now on TV. Yeah, that might be a good idea, actually. Might be a good idea. Craig Fairbrass, was it? I didn't see the answer to the other questions, so I've met Craig a couple of times, a couple of events. How's Andrew Bridgen? I haven't spoken to Andrew for about a month, no, maybe about 6-7 weeks now. It's like eaten alive by a giant polo. Yeah, oh, less said about it. Do you know, I'm probably going to have nightmares about that bloody MRI tunnel tonight. I'm thinking, Dave, just thinking about doing something. Fair enough. Don't blame you. Does the mighty Usyk do Dubai again in July? No, I don't think so. Sorry, guys, because obviously I've sort of answered that really already. I think Dubois will win this one. Well, Mark's pie and mash, don't I? Yeah, that's true. I like Robin's pie and mash. Robin's in Romford and Southend and Dagenham, and yeah. Good night, folks. Danny, have a great Friday tomorrow. Cheers, Tony. Thanks for joining us, mate. Cheers, Dan. See you next time. Goodbye. Cheers, Steve. Can you see any changes in England when Tommy gets out? I don't want to talk about politics, Ian. Sorry, pal. I just can't talk about it anymore after what went on. And I know the authorities are probably still watching this, so I'm not giving them anything to bite on. My days with politics are gone. I'm not saying I don't support him, but like I say, I've promised I'll never ever talk about all of that again, especially on, you know, social media or anything. I never tried London time pie mash. Yeah, listen, traditional pie mash, mate, you can't beat it. You absolutely can't beat it. Thank you for another awesome live stream. Keep up your fantastic work. Cheers, Craig. Thanks, mate. Night, Danny. See you on the next one. Cheers, Lee. Quick topic to end on. What's everyone's favourite sweets from the past? Chocolate sweets, I take it, like chocolate bars. Go on then. Hit us with it. While we've still got over 200 people still in the room. Let's, no problem, Miss Kitty Cats. No problem at all. Do you like jelly deals? No, I don't. I don't eat anything that swims apart from cod. That's about it, really. I don't eat anything that, don't eat any fresh seafood or anything. It's not really. Curly Whirly, mint cracknel. Curly Whirlies are lovely. My favourite chocolate, probably. Dime Bar, yeah, they're pretty good. Cola bottles, yeah. I just find them a little bit sickly after you've eaten about 6 packs of them. Danny, I've torn my tendon out of my right bicep. Ouch. Yeah, I've got exactly the same with my left. Where I've actually torn the bicep. I'll show you it before we go. There you go. So that's my normal arm. If you have a look, you can sort of see it. That's. I'm trying to do it so that it's in the light, right? So there you go. That's my normal arm. Now, I'll show you my left bicep. There you go. There's the tear there. So I've lost that part of my bicep, which is bloody horrible. Turkish Delight. Mars Bars Boost. Yeah, I like the Boost Gold. I like the Boost Gold. But I do like a ripple. I do like the ripples. Bounty's a nice bit of coconut. Chocolate Buttons and Maltesers. King of Crisps. Worcester Sauce. Yeah, wow. Can't wait. Dubois will win. He's on a... Yeah, I think Dubois is on another level at the minute. Caramac. I think they've stopped doing them now. You look tired, Dan. I'm knackered, to be fair. It's also probably the light and I'm getting really old. Milky Bar Golden Cup, Mini Eggs, Whisper Gold, Spangles, Tutti Frutti, Jelly Beans, Pineapple Chunks, Dark Chocolate, Cola Cubes. Dubois is a beast. Yes, he is at the moment. Neil, he is on a different level. Whisper Gold, Double Decker, your arm. Yes, Jenny, it's actually really painful. Lion Bar. I'll tell you what, Sophie bought me recently, some fudge, fresh fudge. That's bloody lovely. Spanish Gold Tobacco. Steve, yeah. Just before we sign off, we've still got over 200 people here, right? Just before we sign up, we'll talk about fragrances. Sorry, guys. By the next live, I'm going to have this. I'm going to be on top of this. Fragrances. People's favourite fragrances. So, I started off... my favourite fragrance was a Pentalagon. which was a really lovely sort of medium to high priced aftershave. I then tried a thing called Creed Virgin Island Water, which Bulgaria, yeah, that's Lulu. I tried this Creed Virgin Island Water, which is like a lemon and coconut smell. That is absolutely stunning. And then a few weeks ago, a few months ago now, my son said to me, try the Tom Ford tobacco vanilla, which is tobacco vanilla. And I thought, oh, I'll get a little bottle at the airport, and I did. Oh my God, that is the different level to any other aftershave I've ever had. So Sophie bought me a large bottle for Christmas, and I also treated myself to a large bottle at Christmas as well. So they were doing a bit of a deal, 20% off. I'm not going to go into the price of them, but they are bloody expensive. But Tom Ford tobacco vanilla, smell that and you'll never want to put another aftershave on, I tell you. Also, just give a little shout out to a friend of mine. He owns Fragrance Samples UK. So if ever you want to try any of those that I've just mentioned, you can go onto his website, and he sells like little 5 and 10 ml bottles of it at a fraction of the price. So you're not then going to spend like silly money on an aftershave. You get to try it first at a price that's, you know, half decent. And it's all genuine. It's not none of the copy stuff, you know, it's all genuine fragrances. FragranceSamplesUK.com. Ian's just put one up in the chat. So FragranceSamplesUK.com. If you want to try any of those that I've just mentioned, especially the Tom Ford tobacco vanilla, you should try it. You'll never want to spend another penny on any other aftershave. Right, guys, that will do it for tonight. We've been just over the hour, which is great, and I will catch up with you all on another live very, very soon. I've got nothing recorded and nothing planned for a new live. Obviously, I really apologise if anyone was still waiting for the other one to start. Obviously, that's my fault. I just clicked on a live, but I should have learned. I did try and look for it, but it weren't there. There you have it, everyone. I'll hopefully do a little bit of the filming tomorrow night at the car show. So that could be a little video that I'll put up probably the early part of next week when our friends have gone back. But for now, have a great weekend, everyone. It's been great talking to everyone again. And like I say, just have a safe, lovely weekend. And I will catch you all probably early part of next week. Thanks a lot, guys. And I will speak to you all very soon.